Property was about 170,000. I put down 5%, which is about 8,500. I put down that 5%. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home.
3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 175.
Semi-detached. It was a semi-detached.
Bro,
8,500.
you hit the lotto.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hit the lotto on that.
Yeah. So it was a semi-detached, and then I put I put 14 grand in, renovated it, made it 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and then from there the value increased, obviously, right? And so you know what? Value increases, take the equity out, go buy another one, and you just keep going from there, right?
Consistently, I see them come without a business plan structure in place. They like to focus more on the marketing and the pretty aspects of business, but they don't want to get into the nuances and the nitty gritty, like their operations plan, focusing on their target market, their value proposition, focusing on their financials and forecasting and those kind of things.
You've been on Instagram doing fashion for like 10 years.
Yeah, for a whole decade.
You've been growing with the platform.
Yes, literally growing with the platform for a whole decade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
So with that knowledge comes a lot, or with that time comes a lot.
Of course. Yeah.
What do you notice that is currently working and what is not currently working on Instagram?
Okay.
Welcome to Us Over Everything podcast. This is the podcast where we receive stories, tips, and tactics from entrepreneurs who have done it. Today, we are at All Black Market, the All Black Friday show. Is what's happening today. Go ahead.
If you're spending Friday night and you're not here, you're definitely missing out.
Man, this is a vibe here today right
It's
now.
a vibe. The chicken was on point.
Facts. So we're here with Nathaniel Garner from GA Investments. Nathaniel, could you give us a quick 1-minute summation of your business and what you do?
Yeah, no problem. So GA Investment Group, what we do is we focus on 3 main pillars: real estate, lending, and financial education. We are really dedicated on bridging the gap from traditional education to the uncommon education. We believe that once you get your money out of the way, you really can focus on the things that you want to do. And we really strongly believe in financial independence. 100% financial independence, because, you really want to live the life that you desire, you have to get your finances in order.
Yeah.
So that's what we do.
Going through your background, right? Like to get to this point, it's not by accident. Takes a lot of hard work to get to where you're at. Walk us through your mentality growing up to really get to this point where you're like, you know what? I want to be financially independent. I really want to create a massive lane for myself where I have wealth. I can pass it down to my family. What was that like growing up for you?
Coming from an immigrant household, like many of us, especially at this event right now, my parents had 2 jobs, right? They always had 2 jobs, always working. And I used to play basketball growing up, and they were never really at the games. You know what I mean? So like that kind of like hit me deep, that my parents they wanted to be there, but they couldn't be there simply because they had to work. Had they had their money in order and stuff like that, they would have been there. So I saw that at a young age, like, okay, like all they're doing is working just to, make sure that we're taken care of. And I appreciated that. But I always said to myself, okay, like, you know what, I'm going to focus on getting my money right, making sure that I build my wealth, and then I can really do the things that I want to do. So it happened really at a young age for me. And honestly, I'm thankful that I took the sacrifices that I did to get to where I'm at.
What were some of the key things you did to build your wealth?
Really, I think the biggest things, I'll just give you a couple key things. When I was in university, I actually bought my first rental property when I was 23. That rental property was like the pillar, like that's not the pillar, but the foundation, I would just say. Once I got that first rental property, I was like, okay, like I can do this, at 23. And then, at 24, I ended up buying 5 more. Like I ended up having a portfolio of 5 properties. And from there, I just went into business myself. But it was that first property that really was the cornerstone. And then after that, just kind of going up and from there.
Yo, break that down. So you're 23, you said? You bought your first property.
Yeah,
university.
Yeah, so going off to university, I went off to Brock University. Shout out to the Badgers. I was there studying business administration, playing basketball, etc.
You're on the team.
I was on the team. I was on the varsity team.
That Badger team is dangerous.
You already know. Yes. So I was there study business administration, and we did co-op. Okay, so co-op, you have a work term, etc. So I worked, saved my money from co-op, plus I had a little bit of scholarship money. And you know what I mean? Like I bought in Niagara, right? So my first property was about 170,000. I put down 5%, which is about 8,500. I put down that 5%. It was a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home.
3-bedroom,
Three
1-bathroom,
bathroom,
175.
semi-detached. It was a semi-detached.
Bro,
8,500.
you hit the lotto.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just hit the lotto on that.
Yeah. So it was a semi-detached, and then I put I put 14 grand in, renovated it, made it 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and then from there the value increased, obviously, right? And so you know what? Value increases, take the equity out, go buy another one, and you just keep going from there, right?
Yeah.
So
and what year was this, by the way?
This is 2016.
2016, 175 for 3-bedroom.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Can we find that anywhere in Canada right now?
Is the market like gone
you
now?
can find that in Canada, but the thing is, people are too fixated on like GTA or whatever. Like I'm telling people, like there's some golds in like Southern Ontario, like Chatham. I'll tell you like this.
I'm from Sarnia, bro.
You're from Sarnia?
I'm from the Lambton, Kent area.
Oh, so you know what it is.
I know what it is. But like, the thing is, who wants to live in Sarnia like that?
But you're not living there. You're buying it for investing purpose. Okay, so listen. Someone that's in renting right now in Toronto, they have money to buy, but they can't buy in Toronto. Why not just buy a rental property somewhere else? And at least you're in the game. Like, what's the point of just renting and just having the money? Just buy a rental property. You're at least in the game, and you're at least getting the appreciation.
So let me ask you something then. Would you invest in like New Brunswick, PEI? Would you make that trip? Break it down for me, because there might be a house out there that's.
This is going to determine how hungry are you.
How hungry are you?
100%. 100%. I would do it if the cash flow makes sense. If the market is there and if the cash flow makes sense, I'm doing it. Because those markets don't appreciate like a Toronto does, right?
They don't.
So you have to invest for cash flow. You're not investing for appreciation. So if the cash flow makes sense, I'm doing it. Right? That's what it is.
How do you hunt for deals?
It's a great question. A lot of wholesalers. I access to a lot of wholesalers, like people that do bird dog and knocking doors.
Yeah.
So I get deals like sent to us all the time, right? But when I was back then, what I'd be doing is I was on Realtor.ca. I'd be in class just analyzing deals. So really, there's an abundance amount of deals out there. Abundance.
So, we had a clip go viral on TikTok. Not mini viral, what I'm saying? About 50K.
Viral to us.
Viral to us, for sure. We were like,
my God, we got 70K view clip on TikTok.
Man's are lit out. No, definitely not. But the question was, if you're living in Toronto, by the way, shout out to Jasmine Lee. We access to Jasmine Lee. Yeah. And we asked her, if you were living in Toronto, looking to build wealth by getting your first home, what tips would you give? So I want to ask you that same thing.
If I was living in Toronto, when I build wealth, getting my first home, that's a great question. I don't know what her answer was. I would assume like a pre-construction. But for me personally, if I'm living in Toronto, I'm going to look outside of Toronto. To really, I invest really for cash flow purposes. And the reason why I invest for cash flow purposes is because that allows you to scale. Okay. So what I mean by that is if the property can take care of itself and scale.
Let's take a quick pause.
So if I'm living in Toronto and I want to build wealth, I'm investing for cash flow. The reason why I'm investing for cash flow is because if you can show the bank that your property it's called debt servicing. The property takes care of itself. It allows you to continue to scale. The bank will give you more mortgages, more loans. What happens with people is they buy a condo, and that condo comes with a high mortgage, a high maintenance fee, and they're not making cash flow per month. They're appreciating, but they're not making cash flow. So what happens is you can't get more mortgages. So if I want to build wealth, I want my properties to take care of themselves, all cash flow. Bank says, oh, that property takes care of itself. We'll give you another mortgage. Then you continue to excel and continue to scale that way. There's no way that, someone can have 20 units without having profitable rental properties.
So we're suggesting like a home that's like maybe in Parkdale or like Regent. Like, what would be?
If I'm trying to be in Toronto in the GTA, if I'm in the GTA, I'm looking at Etobicoke. I don't know if you guys consider Oshawa the GTA, but I would just consider Oshawa.
No, shout out Invest Durham, yeah.
Invest Durham, right?
Yeah, shout out.
Okay, so I got a student rental. I bought it for $400 in 2020, December 2020. Call it January 2021, last year, for $400. Okay, it's a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom place. It's now worth $650. Okay, and it can take care of itself because it's a student rental.
Got you. So
you
it's
can
more.
rent per room.
Got you. So it's more cash flow that way. Got
Right?
you.
So just different areas. Oshawa is a great area, as I just said. South Oshawa always gets this stigma. South Oshawa is a great area. Etobicoke is a great area, I believe. North York is still a pretty good area. But yeah, I'd be in those areas.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about how you built your business up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how did you start building a business up and building a team up? Talk to me through about that.
Okay, so first we started out really just focusing on financial advising. That was the pillar, and the reason why I wanted to do financial advising was because a lot of people ask me, how did you do what you did? I would sit down with them. I tell them, okay, you have a TFSAs, you have an index fund, and I was sitting down giving them free game, and I was building a good book of business, and it was good, so forth. But then it was like, that's only just one piece of the pie, like just that basics. You have to show people how to invest. Like, how did you invest, Nathaniel? Like, okay, well, then, from there, I opened up a little bit of a fund. People can invest with us and et cetera in our projects, et cetera, like that. And then I saw like, okay, well, how do you scale? You got to know the mortgage game. You have to know the lending game. The biggest thing about real estate is OPM, other people's money, right? So in order to do that, you have to use other people's money, which is the bank, right? So that's how we kind of really, gradually scaled up, and that's where we're at today right now.
I want to ask you about your debt ratio. So a lot of things when you go to borrow, we're looking at your different scalings of like how much debt you have, what's your income, and it's going to determine like how much access to capital you have, right?
Yeah.
Do you advise on not having like high, like let's say credit cards, like which have a lot of money on them? Like, so you have a $10,000. So I have like maybe 4 credit cards.
Yeah.
I have average $10,000 credit in each 4 of them. So I have $40,000 available for cash any single time.
Yeah.
Is that a red flag to a bank when you're looking to come in and ask for a loan?
No, as long as the balances are low. So you got to keep your balances below 30%.
30%.
30%, keep your balances below 30%. Cumulatively, yeah, total. So if you're at 40, I don't know what the 30% of that is, but keep it below 30%, right? That's what banks care about. If you have available credit, right, they're fine with that. They're like, okay, this person is, responsible using their credit. Totally fine with that.
Gotcha.
Totally fine with that.
I was talking to my mom the other day. I was telling her like about my friend. He's selling his condo for $600K, and then she was just like, "Oh, you have to like get rid of those credit cards. Like they're alarming to a bank." I'm like, if I cancel this credit card, once I cancel that account, it's gonna be a ding on my credit.
It's called a utilization rate. Utilization rate. You want to keep your utilization rate below 30%. That's what it is, right? So let's say that you had a card and you canceled it, your utilization goes up, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
One of the hacks I do there is that I increase my credit limit to a higher amount, and then it stays super low.
Yeah.
So that skyrockets my credit. So
do you know how many people tell me, hey, like I just got a inquiry, not an inquiry, but a request to increase my credit, but I didn't accept it, and they feel like they're doing something good. I'm like, no, you need to take that. You need to take that, right? You need to take that, but just use it responsibly.
Use it responsibly. Keep it low. For me, it's 1,000. That's like my cap.
That's your cap.
And then exactly. 1,000 is my cap.
Bro, I go wild, bro. That Amex email comes in, hey, you can get $9K in increase. I'm like, boom,
take that shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. Take that, but I'm saying I don't spend more.
Above $1,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Facts, bro. Yeah. But it's really good talking to you. You know what I'm saying? We are just about out of time, but we got to do a full pod. You know what I'm saying? This should be fun.
Lastly, to wrap things up here, I was going through your Instagram. I saw you had one quote by my guy Neville Goddard. You know what I'm saying? I had to ask you about this. The quote's about living in the end. Talk about visualization, living in the end.
Yeah.
What are you visualizing in the end right now, this moment, as you're building your portfolio, you're building your assets? What does that look like to you?
Man, that's really big. Wow. For us and my business and our business, it's really just servicing a certain amount of clients per month. We want to be able to service about 30 clients a month. And really just having a platform that allows people to really build the financial independence that I see that's possible for everybody, right? So that's good.
Respects, man.
Most definitely. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you can control. So control your grind and control your life. I'm Alex.
And I'm Owen Osinde.
I'm Nathaniel Gardner.
That's the show, y'all. On to the next one. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Hustle Over Everything. We receive stories, tips, and tactics from entrepreneurs who have done it. I'm Alex.
I'm Owen Osinde.
So I'm talking to a business consultant, entrepreneur. Could you give people a 1-minute segment on who you are and what you do?
my name is Chantelle. I'm the president and CEO of CQ Business Consulting, Inc., where we do business planning and strategic planning for entrepreneurs and large to medium-sized organizations as well around Canada.
So most definitely. So now, could you tell us some of the things that you consistently see wrong with small entrepreneurs on a consistent basis?
Consistently, I see them come without a business plan structure in place. They like to focus more on the marketing and the pretty aspects of business, but they don't want to get into the nuances and the nitty-gritty, like their operations plan, focusing on their target market, their value proposition, focusing on their financials and forecasting and those kind of things with their strategy. They don't really come to that and come to me with that, and that's what I help them with when they come and work with me.
Most definitely.
So, you work a lot with business plans. In this era right now, a lot of business plans are a lot more dynamic. Stuff like the lean canvas.
Yes.
What's your take on that when entrepreneurs adopt that instead of really going first head on by building a full-on plan, but adopting a lean canvas and staying agile with that as they build their business?
A lean canvas is great too. At least that's something that they have in place as opposed to having nothing at all. But with that, you're only going to be so limited. When you get to, like I said, the real nuances of business, when you go to look at a financial investor or you're looking for some kind of financial consideration from somebody, you find out that the lean canvas is not going to cut it for them. There's no financial forecasting in the lean canvas. In essence, they're just listing your costs. You might be listing your revenue structures, but you're not exactly getting down to how this business is making money, what's the profitability, what can you expect, and what exactly is that you're offering.
And when people come to you, when businesses come to you, at what stage of their infancy are they at?
All stages.
All
so
stages.
A lot of times they could be startups, they haven't really launched yet, but my preference is to work with companies that are in the growth phase. So you've already been in business for a few years, you understand the value of having a business plan or strategic plan, so it's not like I have to sell you on it, and you're ready to put in that work.
Now, when it came to building your team, how'd that go?
When it came to, sorry?
Building your team.
So my team came, as I was mentioning earlier, that I initially partnered with a colleague of mine, Media and Communications, where we have complementary businesses, not competitive businesses, and we shared our first employees. So we shared paying them full-time hours because we're both solopreneurs and looking to grow in that capacity. After that, we had that one assistant working for us, and we started to take on interns. This was a lot during the pandemic as well, and we took interns from Nathaniel College and other colleges around Ontario specifically. And after their internship, they actually ended up staying with us, and we offered them full-time positions. So we got about 3 of our current staff doing that, and 2 others just came to us through the natural application process. But it took about a couple of years, and now I have a team of 5 people working for us, which helped me to scale my business in an amazing way.
So going back to business plans, when you're assessing your business plan, you're presenting it to a bank for a loan, you're presenting it to a investor.
Yes.
What are the major aspects that you really need to hone down into to really blow the banker away to give you that loan, to blow away the angel investor, the VC? Is it financials? Is it like the vision, the mission statement? What aspects should you really put an emphasis on to really get through the door?
All of that. It's been my experience that first and foremost, investors especially, not banks so much, want to know your story. How did you come to this business? They're looking to invest in the person. Then they're going to want to ask more questions about the profitability. How am I going to get a return on my investment? I mean, because they're in it to make money, and they want to know that you have a good understanding of what your numbers are. And when you put together the team, they want to know what's the team behind you. Are you going to need to hire a team, or do you already have a team and support? Because when they're looking at you, businesses come, businesses go, businesses may fail, but the person that they're investing in, they want to know that you have skin in the game and that you're going to put your all into the business. So they're coming to understand that you're knowledgeable about your business, you're knowledgeable about your industry, you're knowledgeable about your target audience, and you're knowledgeable about your profit margin.
Most definitely. Beautifully said. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the podcast. Also, what you can't control, so control your grind and control your life. I'm Alex.
I'm Moino Sinde.
And I'm Chantelle Craig.
And that is a mini clip of the show, y'all.
Precursor.
A precursor, you know what I'm saying? We got to get you back on to talk in full, at length.
Thank you. I would love to.
Give a little tease.
Yeah, I love it.
Little teaser.
How did I do?
Talk to y'all soon.
Amazing. Very polished.
That was a
Thank
banger.
you. It's almost like I've done this before.
Awesome. Today we have Lit My Fashion in the building.
Fashion in the building.
Look at him, drippy.
Drippy.
Dripped out.
Dressed to
Okay.
the nines,
Yes,
man.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate that.
Most definitely. So I have
Yes.
a regular story for you. When I was in college in fashion,
Yes.
you know, I took fashion class actually, and I was reaching out to my boy O'Shane Howard. Shout out to O'Shane, and I'm like, yo, who's a dope person to talk to when it comes to fashion?
Right.
And he's like, yo, have you heard of Lick My Fashion? This was
Years ago.
like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You've been on Instagram doing fashion for like 10 years.
Yeah, for a whole decade.
You've been growing with the platform.
Yes, literally growing with the platform for a whole decade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
So with that knowledge comes a lot, or with that time comes a lot,
Of
what
course.
should I say?
Yeah.
What do you notice that is currently working and what is not currently working on Instagram?
Okay, so right now, like right off the bat, Instagram Reels is something that's like really, really popping right now. So if you're not doing video content, then I don't know. Like right now, Reels is something that's really trending. It's something that's really key. And I think that's the thing that I guess a lot of people struggle with because we came from an era of pictures, right? We came from the era of pictures.
Especially for fashion, too.
Right, so all we know is taking a picture on a wall, taking a picture on a screen. But then, TikTok came and kind of diminished that, right? So now what Instagram likes to do is they pretty much like to copy other, competitors.
Yeah.
So they came out with Reels, and I feel like with Instagram Reels, that's kind of what they push now. So I feel like if you're not really doing that, then you won't see a lot of the views that you're looking for. You won't see a lot of the views that you want. You can post pictures, but pictures are more so fillers now. So when I post pictures, I don't really care to get a like or a view. It's just a filler if I don't have a reel to drop. But I'm so comfortable doing like Reels now to the point where like I don't even take photos anymore, which is actually insane. So that's what's working. What's not working, like I said, I think photos. Like if you're just posting a photo and you want to make a sale, or you have a business or a product or something, you just want to make a sale, photos are just not the wave to do that. Video content is the way to promote your brand. Video content is the way to promote your product, and it's just going to get more of an eye and more of a traction of that. So I think that's where people should focus, is definitely on video.
What do you think about slideshows? Because I see a lot of people that they're taking a lot of photos. And
Right.
they're like, I already have a bank now,
Right.
but I don't want to do video as much.
Yeah.
Is there a way to use slideshows to have like a median level?
Yeah, so you could use slideshows, but it just won't hit. Like at the end of the day, like slideshows won't always hit as much as video does.
Facts.
So you're gonna have to kind of transcend with the time, right? And I feel like just even in the music industry, this is just an example. A lot of artists don't really transcend with the times because they're so stuck in one era, right? So you have to move with the era, you have to move with the trend. So right now, if we're in the era of video, then you got to move with video, right? So you don't want to get left behind. So
Yeah, at what point in your growth did you start monetizing your account?
Ooh, I started monetizing my account probably during the pandemic. Yeah, like right.
So 10 years in, and then you're
8
monetizing
years,
it.
Yeah. So literally, so I was not really monetizing my social media fully until like the pandemic like fully hit, like automated, like doing courses, classes, stuff like that. I was getting a brand deal here and there, but for the most part, I was just taking pictures like everybody else. I was working a 9 to 5. I didn't see any money from
You didn't
social media
prospect
coming
any
in.
brands or anything?
No,
Especially in fashion, like there must be a lot of
Yeah,
brands hitting
no.
you up.
We got to talk. So if you already know, we actually have a podcast scheduled.
Yes, we
you know
do.
What I'm saying? We have like a podcast, a whole discovery call. So it's actually
This is the precursor, man.
Yeah, no,
That
this is like the
you
pre, the pre.
Exactly.
This is
So
practice.
We're gonna leave you with that, a little sample for now.
Yes.
And we're gonna give you the full podcast later on. Just wait on it.
Yes,
You know what
I'm
saying?
excited. I'm excited for the podcast. It's
Most
lit.
definitely.
Be dope.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys. That consider wraps the podcast for now. This is what you can't control. So control your grind and control your life. I'm Alex.
I'm Ono Sinde.
I'm Lick My Fashion.
Bow, bow, bow.
All right.
Peace out.
Ooh, 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Planting and Profits. It's for our event we're doing next month.
Ooh, plantain? Who came over there?
I understand. Fuck with it? All right, ready?
I'm vegan, so I let us know.
You know what I'm saying? Vegan friendly.
Vegan friendly.
All right.
All right, bang bang. Let's get it, man.
Hello and welcome to Hustle Over Everything podcast. This is the podcast where we receive stories, tips, and techs from entrepreneurs who have done it. Today I'm here sitting with Kotiande from Pili Pili Spices.
Look at Alex sounding so African. Kotiande.
You know, did I say it right?
Yeah, Kotiande.
Kotiande.
My guy. What's popping, bro? You good?
I'm good, brother. I'm good.
Where can people find you? Just start it off, you know, because it's a quick pod, it's a teaser. We're going to get you out for the full pod. You know what I'm saying? But where can people find you off top?
You can find my Instagram.
All right, what's your Instagram?
Kotiande, Kotiande. You will not miss that. I'm an entrepreneur in the city of Toronto. I'm a vegan. I love food. I'm in the food industry. I do a lot of things in food.
All right, so walk us through your business real quick.
So basically, I have a grocery store, African ethnic grocery store. Basically, we sell a lot of indigenous plants, a lot of indigenous foods from back home, from different parts of Africa. So the word Salaso, what it means in between us. So in between us. So anybody that identifies with the food that we sell, it's not a partnership, but it's like a companionship that starts, you know? Through my experience in the actual food industry, in the grocery store industry, I wanted to start off a spice brand. Turned vegan, wanted to manipulate how I taste food and also be able to like make my food taste much more better. Create a spice line.
Where's the grocery store?
Grocery store's in Scarborough.
What's the address? So people
The
can
address is 3873 Lawrence Avenue East.
I got you. So let's talk about your business. What was the biggest challenge growing the business so far?
Man, biggest challenge would be because of the pandemic, it showed us a lot how to curate your business from in person, but also having an online presence, which is super important. Having being able to be visible on actual Google. That's very important. Having your customers review and leave comments and actual pictures of the actual establishment where you work at, super important. Just being able to showcase what you do and making it as clear as possible for people to read and understand.
Most definitely, and that kind of brings me to your YouTube channel and the strategy you were telling me about. Could you go into detail about the media company strategy you have, even though you are a spice brand?
The reason why we started this cooking show is to showcase how people can use the spices on any type of dishes worldwide. So being able to start that cooking show, it was a great idea because people can just go on YouTube and learn step by step on how to use the spices.
All right. So let's wrap it up on mindset and keep it going. What's some of the biggest mindset shifts you've had over the last 2 years growing a business?
Man, what type of mindset specifically?
Yeah, mindset shifts have you had?
Woo. Okay. Being able to have self-confidence, being able to focus on your own plate and what you have in front of you, not being too quick because, social media era, you can go online and you can see other people flourish and people are making moves and stuff like that. And it's so easy for you to get distracted of what you got in front of you step by step, So the biggest thing is being able to break down what you have to do step by step, understand your path, your vision, create it, be able to put the right people around it so you can actually bring it into life. That's the biggest mindset shift you have to do. To be able to showcase what your business does on a public stage, also be able to let customers or people that are your target audience be happy and gravitate towards what you got to offer in the market.
With your business right now, you're talking about vision, where you want to go. Where do you want to take Solo Foods at? It's Solo, right?
Salaso Foods.
Salaso Foods. Where do you want to take it to the next level?
I want to be able to, with Salaso Foods, I want to be able to bring it to a more national level. So I want to be able to bring it to different aspects and different places actually in Toronto and other places in the country where the target audience is where Africans are. Not only Africans, but black people, One thing as well, too, making the business much more accessible. Our products more accessible to our target audience via Amazon, via eBay, via our own website as well, too, but also being able to deliver and send the items to our clientele. Because African food is not when you go outside of the city in the rural areas, it's actually kind of hard. It's pretty hard to be able to find African food.
Bro, you got to come to Sarnia.
You see how, come on.
See what I'm saying? My mom would love your store, but she's all the way in the ends. How are you going to get to Sarnia, bro?
So that is why right now I'm actually creating the website for Salaso Foods to be able to help individuals from the diaspora of Africa to be able to order online easily and be able to receive the foods that reminds them of back home in front of their house. Boom.
It's a good idea for you. If we were talking about subscription businesses a while back, you do a subscription spices for African families.
Ooh. You talking?
Come on.
You talking.
Come on.
I like the way you talking. You talk a little spicy. I like it spicy. You talk a little spicy.
Fuego, bro.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Muy caliente.
Yes, sir.
Facts, man. Yo, I can't wait to have you on to have the full podcast, bro. It's going to be a vibe.
Yeah. Oh, major. You guys got to be ready.
Oh, man, I know you're a big fan, bro. Thanks for all the love you've given us so far.
Always.
I always see you liking our posts. showing love.
Appreciate that.
And it's honestly a blessing just to hear the remarks you gave us earlier today, that you're tuned in.
Always.
You're putting in work all the time, but to hear things like that, it's motivating.
Crazy.
Facts,
for real.
bro. Respect.
And one thing I gotta say is for you guys, I love the fact that you guys went to Event Fest. I know that EYL.
Fest, yeah.
Oh my gosh! When I see you guys went.
Yeah,
I
we
see
Yeah.
those pictures.
Yeah.
I said, damn, I gotta go. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I gotta go one day because I know you guys grasped a lot of information, made a lot of networks over there. So it was wonderful seeing that picture with the badge and everything, the press badge. I was like, wow, man.
We're
Y'all did it.
serious. We're serious.
From a kid from Toronto, seeing y'all do that, man, yo, trust me.
Appreciate you, fam.
Yeah.
That being said, that wraps up the podcast. That is what you can control. So control your grind and control your life. I'm Alex.
I'm Ono Sinde.
Hey, it's Kotiane.
That's the show, y'all. Peace.
Peace.